I have already tweeted early morning on this statement by Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey was the CEO of Twitter during a very dubious period in Twitter's history. What he has said is an outright lie, and I have said that publicly, and I'm reiterating it again. Twitter is a company that believed that it was not necessary for it to comply with Indian law. It believed that it did not have to comply with Indian law and made up its rules as it went along. And the government of India has been very clear from the very beginning, for all companies that operate in India, they have to always comply with Indian law. That is point number one. Point number two, I just want to refresh Jack Dorsey's memory and certainly all your viewers that between 2020 and 2022, Twitter was violating Indian law multiple times, and it was in non-compliance several times during those 2 years, and it started complying only in June 2022. During that entire period, nobody went to jail, nobody was raided, and so Jack Dorsey, knowing fully well that Twitter did not comply with Indian law and did not face any consequence of that, is today lying and making up this story about raids and arrests. Third point, that Twitter now, it is there now in public domain that Twitter during this period was not only partisan, was behaving in an absolutely arbitrary manner, and the Twitter files that have then come out after Jack Dorsey sold Twitter has exposed Twitter to be a platform that abused its power, misused its power, and de-amplified many people, as in muted their voices, de-platformed many people, as in permanently took them off Twitter, totally in violation of Article 14 and Article 19 of our Constitution. And they did this in India, they did this in the US, and this information is now available in the public domain for everybody to read and see. And therefore, we have always maintained, the government of India has always maintained that our objectives are to ensure that the internet is safe and trusted, that every intermediary like Twitter, foreign or Indian, big or small, must be always compliant with Indian law. And our laws have very clear provisions about weaponizing of misinformation, which is what Twitter did during the entire period of 2020, where they weaponized misinformation against the Indians and the government of India, and therefore they were exposed. So therefore, today for Jack Dorsey to suddenly wake up from his slumber and to try and rebrush the history of Twitter's conduct, and so far without any consequences, is to essentially say what I said in my tweet, that it is a total outright lie.